Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I am Nicole Bridger. Today, I want to talk to you about our beliefs around romance, and specifically what comes up for you guys around Valentine's Day. It's something, when I'm doing talks or group work and explaining what belief systems are, I often ask the group, okay, well, what are your thoughts or beliefs around Valentine's Day? And it's such a great example because we can be a little bit playful, not too serious, and yet it's really charged for people. People really have strong beliefs, I've noticed, around Valentine's Day. Running from it's stupid, it's commercial, I don't believe in it, but my wife makes me, and then I feel guilty, all the way to it's the day of love, it's such a beautiful day to celebrate love, it's really important, and all the things in between. So before we begin, taking a deep breath, and wherever your thoughts and energy is scattered out there in your life, for this next little while, just calling it all back to you with a deep inhale, giving yourself the gift of presence for this next little bit. So, what comes up for you when I say Valentine's Day? Just notice, taking a deep breath. If you are able to write things down, perhaps write down what's coming up for you. If you're driving, then just noticing the thoughts that come up and just witnessing them. No judgment. Try not to get into the feeling so that you're now charged up, but just noticing, oh yeah, I totally have that belief. I totally have those thoughts or feelings around it. So last night I had an interesting conversation with my partner. So he is Sumatran, he's Indonesian, and so some of this is cultural, but to be honest, I think it's more just whether it's a male-female thing or it's just a difference, because male-female, it isn't, sort of stereotypically, we would say women want romance and men are resistant to it. But that's not always the case. I know many couples where the woman thinks romance is frivolous or a waste of time, and the man is yearning for connection. So it's actually more just about different people with different beliefs coming together and sharing life and time with each other. And it's easy for our brain to want to say, oh, it's because of this or because of that or what have you, but that actually keeps us out of alignment, out of the truth of what's going on. So our conversation last night was a little bit about Valentine's Day coming up in a week, and me explaining to him my beliefs around it. They don't celebrate it here, so it's pretty foreign to him, although I'll be honest, used as a little bit of an scapegoat for him, and that he's not used to it, not his culture. For me, I love Valentine's Day. It's the day of love. It's the day that we get to express love. Not the only day, but a sort of fun day to express love to all those that are important to us in our lives. And even while I've been a single mother for the last 10 years, I would celebrate it with my son. I would make heart-shaped cookies, buy him chocolates, create little love notes, buy flowers for myself, and just make it a day of love. So what I'm sharing with you, because what could happen as a single mother is, and I think this was my way of reclaiming the day for myself, because I didn't want it to be a day of sadness. I didn't want it to be a day of feeling lonely, and that's often what can happen on Valentine's Day, is we focus on the fact that we don't have a partner in our lives. And it brings our thoughts and energy down, instead of from a place of gratitude, recognizing in all the places that we do have love. We focus on the fact that we don't have it, and it amplifies that feeling of loneliness. So what I want to encourage you is to remember that your thoughts are your choice. Whichever thought you hold on to and hold into your being as a belief is your choice. You are not prisoner to your circumstances. So for me, I chose that I wanted to have a positive experience with Valentine's Day, even if I didn't have a romantic partner in my life. I wanted to make it mean something positive, something beautiful, something loving. Even the act of loving myself. My son, as a child, was not able to go to the store and buy me some flowers, so I would go, but with love in my heart, because I was showing love to myself. And it's not to say that there weren't moments where I feel lonely, but I really tried to make Valentine's Day a day where I just felt love. Love and gratitude for my family, for my friends. We would have love parties with, that sounds a bit cheeky, but with all of our kids. And we would decorate cookies or cupcakes and have heart decorations everywhere and just make it super light and fun, because we love each other. We really appreciate each other. And it's a nice way to do that. So with my partner last night, I was explaining to him my relationship, my beliefs, my intentional beliefs, I think, around Valentine's Day and romance. And he has the belief that he is not romantic. And I was sort of lovingly teasing it out, because he desires connection and romance and closeness. And in my opinion, if you want to experience that kind of connection with your partner, you also have to feed the fire. And for me, feeding the fire really does look like sending words of love, being thoughtful, not always necessarily buying gifts, but thoughtfulness and flirtation, compliments. I got my nails done yesterday, and he didn't notice. Not that it really matters, but that was actually how the whole thing kind of started. That I just noticed that he's very shy to give compliments, and very cheekily he said, "Oh, but you're going to appreciate it or be more surprised when I give it to you less often." And I challenged him back, saying, "Oh, so if I only say thank you, like once a year to you, then that will be better because you'll be more surprised." So we laughed about that, and it helped the laughter helped him loosen his grip on his own beliefs around romance. So, yes, the day before, just from a very pure place, out of the blue, I felt like sending him a text, just saying, I want you to know that I love you so much and I really appreciate you. And he responded, I love you too. And so last night when we were in bed talking about romance, I asked him, well, how did it make you feel when I sent you that note? And he said, it was so lovely, it made my day. And I said, well, that's what romance is. It's when you love someone and you want them to feel good. You, from a generous place of love and gratitude, do nice things for each other that help them feel good. And then he loosened his grip even more, a little bit, and he said, well, I don't feel confident being romantic. And I could see that somewhere in his life, he was told or chose to take on the belief that he's not good at being romantic. And I didn't need to dig further into where that was coming from. And I just said, it doesn't really matter if you're good at it or not. What matters is if you love somebody and you want to make them feel good. With my son, I love him and I tell him every day how much I love him, more than anything. And how proud I am of him, and I do thoughtful things for him all the time. And it just feels natural. There's no me expecting something back from him. And naturally, he does give, because there isn't a dynamic between us of give and take. It's just very natural and effortless to be generous in giving, which also includes apologizing easily when necessary. So on that, my partner was able to laugh a little bit, to see that I too was desiring more connection, whether you want to call it romance or flirtation or passion or connection or love or just mindfulness, really. It's so easy in our crazy lives to sort of go into robot mode with one another and forget to stop and have some intentional loving time together. And so I'll let you know how Valentine's Day goes, but I'm excited about it. But it had me thinking about a lot of you guys out there with Valentine's around the corner, depending, of course, when you're watching this. But you could also apply this to romance and love any time of the year. And asking yourself and being honest with what are the beliefs that you have around it. And if you are not with a partner, how are your beliefs supporting you? Remember that your only job is to feel good. And if what you want is to feel love, companionship, support, joy, then it's your job to begin feeling that right now. Not when you get a partner, not holding it out there, because what happens is everything that you desire, if it's at a vibration of love and you are holding yourself at a vibration of hopelessness and despair, then it's not going to come into your existence. So you, right now, just as your life is, right this minute, need to start finding ways to feel love and joy or whatever feelings you're desiring in this moment. And if that means taking a day that normally would trigger you into feeling lonely and reclaiming it and letting it make you feel awesome and grateful and surrounded by love, then that's fantastic. And if you are with a partner and are on the side of Valentines and romance is stupid and commercial or what have you, and your partner is on the side of wanting something special, ask yourself, why am I holding on to this when I can see that my partner is desiring connection and love? And ask yourself what it would look like if you were to, for a minute, let go of that belief and step into a place of generosity, wanting your partner to feel good. And if you are in partnership and you're on the other side where Valentine's and romance is really important to you and you have high expectations and you put a lot of pressure on your partner, I again really encourage you to take a deep breath and ask yourself what that's about. Do you make it mean how much they love you? Because even last night when I was talking to my partner, I know that he loves me. Whether he is performing acts of romance or not, it was not a symbol or it was not equal to his love for me. I know he loves me. I feel confident in that. So I'm not asking for that. It's more of asking for us to be playful and loving and fun together. So if you do have that where you've placed a lot of importance and pressure, ask yourself where that's coming from and why, and what would it look like again to be a little bit generous to your partner, where there wasn't so much pressure, where you too were able to reclaim that day or those beliefs around love and romance to something that's going to make you feel good, not picking apart where you don't feel loved, not pointing out where he hasn't or she hasn't shown you, or they haven't shown you what love means to you, or like how you specifically want love to be expressed to you. And instead step into a place of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for the ways that you do show me that you love me. So I'm wishing you a beautiful Valentine's and a lot of love and gratitude. And just remember, it's your job to stay in that feeling place of the feelings that you desire. Have a blessed day.